Gentlemen, my name is Isaac, and today we're going to discuss a movie that is considered to be one of the best foreign films of all time, in my opinion. And that movie is a 2002 crime drama film called City of God. If you're unfamiliar with this movie, City of God is a movie made in Brazil, and it's considered to be one of the best Brazilian films of all time. Before we begin, there are going to be some parental advisory content that I'm going to discuss, especially drug references. And since we're here to talk about Brazil and also the context of the historical background and also the everyday activities, it is going to have lots of explicit content. So be advised because it's going to be explicit. So the main focus of the movie is City of God, which is a favela in Rio de Janeiro, which is in Brazil. So favela is kind of like a slum district, and because Brazil has the highest slums in the entire Latin American country, we see that the majority of people, like 25% of them, live in the Rio slums, and it has lots of crime, has lots of poverty, and also drug dealing. So it's no wonder that the favelas are kind of dangerous for people to visit there, especially tourists. But there have been some that are like safe and also pacified, like Santa Marta, which is one of the short favela that also became famous because Michael Jackson did a music video for this. But City of God is also another popular destination of favela because of the movie City of God, which we're going to talk about in this video. And it starts from the 1960s all the way to the 1980s. So from the beginning of dictatorship to the cocaine business. So this man here is Rocket, and yes, Rocket is one of the main characters of this film. There are going to be lots of characters in the City of God movie review, but we're going to focus on the main ones, and Rocket's one of them. So you can see here he has a camera, so he really wants to be a photographer, he wants to work in the newspaper industry, and he does that by taking pictures in the City of God, which no newspaper reporter would ever do that because it's considered to be dangerous for newspaper journalists to take pictures of the crimes that are happening there. And because Rocket lives there, he's given the opportunity to take pictures of what's happening in the City of God. He's a nice kid. He doesn't get involved with gangs. He does know some gang members, but most of the gang members that he knows are really friendly to him, and they really notice that he doesn't pose a big threat, unlike the other members of the gangs. So overall, Rocket is the main character and narrator of the story, and he tells the exact points from the 1960s to 1980s. This man is Lil Z. So Lil Z is in charge of a crime organization in City of God. He knows Rocket. In fact, he knows Rocket because he shot his older brother when he was a little kid. And as a little kid, Z really wanted to become a member of the gang, and it turns out he did because he committed crimes. He murdered lots of people in a hotel, and he steals lots of money. And then when he got older, he controlled the entire drug empire, and he has really good connections within the City of God. His crimes are from sexual harassment to violence. He mostly does the same things that happens to the favelas, especially even today. And Little Z doesn't care about the punishments. He even said that I don't care what kind of punishments I'll get. I know that I'm gonna suffer, and I don't care about the consequence. So he knows that death doesn't scare him. What only scares him is himself. So he knows the consequence, and that's the reason why he's like a kingpin of his own ring. This man is Benny. He's like his right hand man of Lil Z. He's also a good friend of Rocket. He knows him well. So unlike Lil Z, he's really patient. He doesn't care about being violent. He just cares doing the right things. Fortunately, all the things that he's doing meant to his demise, not by Lil Z, but the rival gangs. And Lil Z really is the only person that can be sympathized by Benny because Benny and Lil Z go way back, especially during their childhood when they started to rob people and shoot people. So Benny is really a guy who can reason with Lil Z, even if Lil Z doesn't want to. So Benny is really a great character. He's a hipster. He really cares about Lil Z. He also has a good relationship with Rocket. So this is a guy who he's good friends with, but also he joins a criminal organization with his friend. This man is named Knockout Ned, or Ned. He used to work at the bus fair as seen in his image, and he's also really friendly to Rocket and his friend. He also joined the Brazilian army until he decided to quit and decided to join the bus industry, well, the bus fair industry. Anyway, the reason why he's involved in this crime organization is because his girlfriend has been harassed by Lil Z, and as a result, he decides to join with a man named Carrot. And Carrot is a rival to Lil Z. He also is in charge of his own cartel. And since Carrot doesn't like Lil Z, Carrot decides to use Ned as his ally. As a result, Carrot and Knockout Ned really decide to team up and try to destroy Lil Z's industry. So, if you guys don't know, this movie is loosely based on an autobiography book, which is written as City of God. It's written by Paulo Lins. So, this book is actually talks about the lifestyle of City of God under the rulership of the drug gangs during the 1960s all the way to the 1980s. And yes, there's still drug gangs to this day, but at the time they were more powerful, more dangerous, and even today they still have that influence as well. So I'm a little surprised that they actually got some influence from the book into the film, and I'm really happy they actually made it more accurate. I mean, they didn't exaggerate the whole sequences of the violence, nor the drug cartels, nor the characters. They did it well, and I know I didn't read the book, but I'm really interested that they put a lot of effort to it. So there's nothing bad about this film. I really enjoyed it, and it really gives a good glimpse of the life that these four characters really got involved in the City of God during this time. So overall, I give this movie an out of 10. It really deserved that score because it really has an impactful story, amazing characters, and also a great performances from everybody involved. And the majority of them didn't got no acting experience, which is really shocking because I never thought they didn't act before. But I'm really happy they did their best. They didn't ruin any single scenes. I felt like they really put a lot of effort into this film, and I'm thankful for everybody involved in this production. And I'm really happy that the producers and directors decided to do something good for them, especially for the cast. They decided to help them in their future careers. I think some of them became actors, others just stick to their lives, you know? Like, it's hard to get jobs, especially during this time, but at least I'm happy that they managed to find some way to actually work actor gaining success from this movie, and I'm really happy for everybody working so hard on this film. And I believe that every one of the people who worked on this film really gets the credit and also the financial gains that they really deserve. Thank you very much for watching this movie review. If you'd like to subscribe, you can just click on the red button and also leave a like. So I'm going to continue making movie reviews, but it's going to take a slow process because I'm going to do a movie review of a recent film from 2020. So I hope you guys will be patient and wait for that video to come. Until then, have a nice day and enjoy your life.